I just sort of popped briefly onto Lytham Road and let's have a bit of a look. I've gone past here quite a few times and it used to be open, the little cosy jazz cafe, and just on the corner of Clarendon Road. And welcome back to a brand new video. So we're just going to start this video off in St John's Square today. Now I think it's a great little place just to start off and just see how busy this square is, and all these wonderful little sort of seats and table area where people can go and enjoy the picnic or the bit of a drink before they hit the town centre. So what a great place this one is. So we're going to have a bit of a walk around, we're going to have a look, see what's going on with the demolition, how that's progressing. And the weather has really changed. It was horrible this morning, sort of like rain, a bit of a wind, and now look at it, another glorious day set for the weekend. So come and join me. So we're just opposite the sea, and they do sort of fish and chips and all that. And we went in several months ago, and to be fair, it wasn't all that good. So I wouldn't really rate that, me personally, but people have got their own choice, their own preference. I wouldn't really rate that. It's just near the Winter Gardens. The Winter Gardens just set to the left-hand side. But the reason we just stopped here is there's a new little shop just on the corner there. And it looks like that's becoming like a restaurant, and they have got like sort of kebab skewers in there. So is that going to be like something to do with like kebabs and sort of a fast food shop, which is just near the Halifax Bank? We'll have a bit of a walk down here, and the sun is sort of directly in front. But yeah, a new shop and another new takeaway shop. As we just venture on down. You got the jewellers on the other corner, Beaverbrooks and Marks and Spence, all the shops along this way. But the weather, it turned out absolutely perfect. And there used to be a little store just coming up, and there's a huge fire well over a year ago now. And it ruined like the nail shop. And there used to be one there, the British Heart Foundation. And that used to be a great little store. And like I said, unfortunately it affected that building as well, and they've now vacated that premises. That one is up for sale. As we just approach the Grand Theatre again. Another great one. And I was watching a bit of a TikTok video of Andy, who does a lot of TikTok videos around Blackpool, and it was in the evening. It was in the evening time, and he peered through the glass, and he actually said he saw a person in a bowler hat just through the window, which is fascinating. Like I said, this is steeped in history. He sort of peered through, and he actually saw a ghost just sort of roaming around. And like I say, he's a famous TikToker. That's all right, in Blackpool, and he peered through this very window, and he saw the ghost. What do you make of that one? Imagine it would be haunted. Interesting, very interesting. So as we just venture on down, heading towards the promenade, this is Corporation Street. See Scruffy Murphy's just on the right-hand side. Great little place, that one. And then we got the other ones along this way, the Rose and Crown, and this is famous for all the bikers. They get a lot of bikers events come down this way, and that's a bit of a haunt for those. And actually the beer, I believe, is actually locally brewed for the Rose and Crown. It's actually brewed in Blackpool. How amazing is that? Like I said, another great one for locals, and like I said, all different events. This one gets very busy. So this building is a very interesting one. You just see, I'll take a few pictures, and you see all the engravings on the wall. Look at that, we got planes and all sorts, helicopters, parachutes. I'll take a couple of pictures, I'll show you. It's amazing. Like I said, when you start looking up at these buildings, you know what is actually on them, and the dates, all sorts. And this one is a fantastic, very narrow pub, very narrow, is the Mitre. and it's one of the oldest ones in Blackpool, and it's actually the smallest pub of Blackpool, and it was actually established in 1902, so 123 years old. Amazing, and that's still standing again. Very, very busy that one gets. Amazing part of Blackpool's history. And just near Robert's Oyster Bar, you can see the building just next door has been completely pulled down now, and all is in there. There's a little digger. She's probably sort of digging the hardcore out. Look at that, completely gone. So as we edge our way along the promenade, you can see all the windbreakers are going up, and I believe it's Pride weekend, if I'm not mistaken, this weekend. You can just see they're putting all the windbreakers up for this weekend. You see there they go. So there's a couple of machines either side as the hoist, like the curtain, shall I say, hoist like the curtain up. See what's happening. And to be fair, it's surprising. A couple of things surprising they didn't have it near where the Blackpool Festival was last year after the disastrous event. What happened with the strong winds and storms, which ruined a lot of the display, shall I say? Yeah, so it goes all the way along the windbreakers as we just approach the comedy carpet, which looks quite busy. So you're just walking past, just in the sea, and you see someone's like set fire. You see all the remnants of plastic, where someone's probably had a bit of a go setting fire. How ridiculous is that? Absolutely no need for something like that. Crazy. So we're just on the lower decks, just heading towards Central Pier, and the tide is on its way out. How lovely does that look? The blue skies and the fluffy clouds. You see people are just waiting for a bit more, another hour or so, and the beach will start to reveal itself. And even all the seagulls again, just waiting, basking in the sun. And look at this little beach buggy. That's a funky little one. This belongs to the beach patrol. Look at that one. So we just arrived near the shoe cellar, the old Doctor Who exhibition, as we have a bit of a walk down. Imagine all the guys from the demolition site might have packed up for the week. It is the last day. It is a Friday, and they do work extremely hard in all conditions. So we'll have a quick look, see if there's anything there. So I think all the machines are all stood still, and we'll have a quick look. So to be fair, I don't think there's that much changed. You can see that part of the building with the grey slatish roof. That's all still there. That's not been knocked down. I think they're more cleaning up with the rubble. And like I said, they're well ahead of schedule, I believe, with this one. So let's just show you a little bit how the land lies at present. All the machines are finished, and like I said, it's quite early. It's about 3:45 on a Friday. I guess, like I said, they're ahead of schedule, so they're going to afford to take that bit of an early break on a Friday. So we just turned on to a place in a street called Coop Street, and down here there used to be some fantastic hotels. Look at the Lodge Guest House on the corner, and most of these now are like private little bed sits or flats. There is a few which do accommodation still, but the majority are now, like I said, little self-contained flats. And look at that one, the Port of Call. Let me know if you've ever stayed in any of these over the years. The Port of Call and the Canberra. Like I said, back in the 60s and 70s, imagine all these would have been thriving. Look at that, Central Pier Hotel. Look at that one. Look at this, just on Coop Street. as we venture down a few of the different ones, and you can just see, I'll show you this one as well. Again, see all the old posters of Blackpool and a bit of the artwork. Look at that. So this is York Street, another. I always like this little street. Like I say, all the little guest houses and hotels and everything, all sort of multicoloured along here. And there is some nice ones. Look at this one just to the right. You see all the flowers and everything outside. But yeah, this is York Street as we venture up this way. Again, let me know, if you ever stayed in any of these guest houses on York Street, just near the Pound Burger, near the Vauxhall Market, this one. And there's some, have sadly fell. You can see that one there just boarded up on the left hand side. I think there's 2 or 3 in a row on the corner and the opposite corner, which have sadly gone. But like I say, I always like York Street. It just reminds me of like a bit of a country thing, And look at this one, the Vauxhall Village House, and you can see it's like the windows have smashed in there, and we're having a bit of a smashed window. You can see right in there. Look at that. What a shame. Look at that. So you literally go right in. So just hit Dale Street and show you a bit of a queue outside Chris's, and like I said, the front is not really busy, but he definitely draws the crowds in. And that's Chris Higgett, the famous Pound Burger. So we're just opposite Pat's Tempe Bingo as we have a bit of a walk down here. We'll see how busy Prime Burger is. I couldn't resist after seeing Chris's queue. We want to have a quick look and just see how busy the old Prime Burger is. See if he's got a queue like that. Like I say, it's probably, you can see the amount of traffic on the road. People are just coming into Blackpool, I'd imagine, for the weekend and going to the digs, their apartments and the hotels, and just approaching the Prime Burger. I don't think he's got anybody outside. Look at that. So it just shows, the comparison, how famous Chris Higgett really is. And you can see not one person stood outside or being served. And that's the Prime Burger. Not sort of knocking it. Probably sort of really nice food, but he's got no one waiting outside at the moment. It's just near Mark Kelly's. That one as we head a little bit further south. Have a few sort of bit of a look around a few of the streets around this way, so we'll catch up on what's going on. Again, Mark Kelly's another good one. People enjoying the sunshine whilst it's well taken. So apparently it's going to be really nice. 27, 28 it's getting up to in Blackpool. Tomorrow's going to be a scorching day, and then I think Sunday turns a little. I'd imagine a lot of people will be making the most of the weather. I just sort of popped briefly onto Lytham Road, and let's have a bit of a look. I've gone past here quite a few times, and it used to be open, the little cosy jazz cafe, and they've got a little bike outside and like a little go-kart. I'd imagine that's all back in the day. You can just see, and this one has sadly gone, and a lot of people probably will have little fond memories of this little cafe. And you can just see the go-kart and that little bike, which was an iconic thing back in its day. Look at that. And just on the corner of Clarendon Road. Look at this. So there was sort of fencing up here. I'll have a bit of a look. You can see there's a bit of a rip out this one. You can see it sort of leads right inside to that room there. The old blue. Look at that. So just inside, there's a little sign that says staff only. And I imagine that's where this was like the other shop once over, and then there's like a little staff room going the other side. And look what's happened to it. So this one used to be named Wayman Memorial School. Let me know, was this like was it like a little sort of tiny school, or was it for like nuns, something like that? Wayman Memorial School. I'll have a bit of a look to see if I can find a bit more history about this one. So we just come into a bit of an end on the video. I think what we'll do is we'll hit near the sea to end the video. It's always nice just ending the video near the seaside, and you can see traditional ice cream, and you certainly need one in this weather. And there he is, just on the front. Imagine tomorrow is going to be very, very busy, and so let's have a bit of a walk near the sea. So I think a bit of a gentle stroll just along the coastline. It's nothing better than just watching and listening to the sea rolling in, and what a difference. Look how calm it is today. As you can see, the tide is on its way out, so many people and families will be gathering on the beach later on this evening, taking the magic of Blackpool. And just imagine when the illuminations are on, all the wonderful lights and the atmosphere it produces. So I think I've got one more thing. I got tempted, or I'm going to get tempted. There's a little ice cream place on where you have a peddler's license, and he's dressed in all the traditional England colours. So I think the one last thing I do is indulge in an ice cream to finish this video off. What an absolute cracking Friday evening in Blackpool. So just one last thing, I did treat myself to an ice cream. You just see that little stall behind, and I thought I'd just treat myself with it being such a nice day. And it's a nice little clotted ice cream, wonderful. And like I said, you can't beat it on such a wonderful day. So I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget, consider hitting that subscribe button, hit the notification button. Really good. And I'll see you in the next video. Look after yourselves, and it is a bye from me. Take care. Bye bye. Very good.